Welcome back to Lark's Profit. I am Nors, my solo playthrough of Dragonbane by Free League Publishing. Links to my Ko-fi page, to the game, the PDF of the game on DriveThruRPG can be found in the notes below or in the description below. I am using, here are the notes that I need to go over. Roll VTT, which is this right here. It's a very elegant little VTT. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, which I actually like. Things like that. Just got a dice roller. Boo! Yeah, and I have like some maps and things. All of my maps are, well, this one's not mine, but all my regional maps and world maps are self-drawn, and just with pen and paper, and they're sort of goofy. I like them a lot, which is shameless self-promotion, I suppose. Ooh, that's really close, but as you can see, they're a bit out there. I'm still learning how to draw. I'm not the best, but it's fun. Anyways, I am using the core rules of Dragonbane, which, you know, dictates the majority of the rules, and the solo Dragonbane rules. And then I'm also using, let's see here, the old school solo rules for old school essentials. I just really like the muse tables they have. They just have these two tables on page 16 and 17 that are extensive and are great muses for anything that happens, really, that's outside the purview of the solo rules for Dragonbane, which is great. And then here are my notes. So what happened last time? Last time was a two-parter for session 4. Lark is a merchant human. He's young and inexperienced. He went into Deepfall Breach to find Stonegaze's banner. Stonegaze, this wolfkin character, had loaned him a banner with special power that if he called upon Stonegaze would come and help him. But in his first adventure, in Lark's first adventure, he had lost the banner. And so Stonegaze sent him back into the breach to figure out where the banner was and get it back. So these are the sort of the waypoints that we found. What's really important is that we met an elf and a halfling, an elf mariner and a halfling knight named Erlod and Arena, respectively. And we also met a sentient skull that had a spirit living in it, which Lark took as a companion. And then they continued on to find an excavated mine with abandoned supplies and concealing mist and some orcs in it. There were some orcs in here that, as a merchant, Lark tried to, bargain with, and was able to trade a magical goblet that was never empty, but its content was always poisoned. Traded the goblet for Stonegaze's banner, which was possessed by an orc shaman. Unfortunately, once Lark traded this goblet for the banner, the orc immediately took a drink and began foaming at the mouth and died. So the other orcs attacked. Luckily, with the help of the halfling Arena and the elf Erlod, Lark was able to drive, or they killed one of the orcs and the others two surrendered, but they are part of a clan called Hand of Fire. And that's where we are now. The Lark and his companions were able to escape Deepfall Breach and make it back to the Nameless Chapel. That's here. And that is sort of where we ended. I should note that in this campaign, we're not playing in the Misty Vale, the default sort of setting for Dragonbane. Rather, we are playing in my own original world of Agaroth. Oh, I have a world map for you here. I've sectioned it out for types of encounters. The colors don't really mean anything. What is more important is that they're just distinct. And each of these areas have their own regional map. I've done, I think, all of them, but this one, I haven't drawn that yet. And I haven't drawn any in the north, which is called the Forbidden North. But yeah, so right now we're around here somewhere in the southern Fistmuck range. But yeah, Herd Home is Lark's hometown and whatnot. So that's where we are now, is in the Nameless Chapel near Deepfall Breach. Ooh, too much. There we go. And we get back. I think I didn't recover. No, I didn't. But yeah, Lark returns with his companions. Stonegaze is there. Lark is able to give him back his banner, and Stonegaze is quite impressed. He goes, thank you. Stonegaze is a wolfkin with scars and milky white eyes. He has some type of foresight into the Deepfall Breach that helps people navigate it. But he doesn't go in there himself often anymore. But he was once a great warrior. Lark is like, here's your banner back. I'm sorry, Mr. Stonegaze. I didn't want it to get like this. I think the banner is maybe torn and sort of dirtied. He's like, I'm sorry, it didn't do well. Yeah. Stonegaze goes, well, I see you've brought some companions. Where are these two headed? Where did they come from? Lark looks at Erlod and Arena and he goes, that's a fair question. Where did you two come from? And they are like, well, we're from, let's see, I think I want them to be from Gold Docks, which would be here. There'd just be, this doesn't have locking images, which is a bit annoying. There we go. So they'd be from here, Gold Docks. No. There we go. I had to turn off my Discord. I forgot that was on. And they're like, yeah, we're from Gold Docks, and we're in a cave sort of near there, I think Arena says, and we were on a mission. What were they doing? What were they doing? We don't know what they were doing. What type of mission were they on? For me, this is where this type of thing, wilderness, talk place, monster, treasure. Let's actually use this supplement inspiration table So 3d20. 8, 8, 10. So 8 guard, decaying, knowledge. Oh, okay. So the yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. Arena says we were sent to this cave and we were guarding this this old library near Gold Docks that was from the before time. So in Agaroth, there is a magical darkness that never lifts, which means there's very few people in the world, though, like 1,000 people in civilization, and any histories of the before time have sort of decayed or have been destroyed and left behind. I think Erelod says, we were protecting this library. It was to the north of Gold Docks, near Agaroth's ruin, when we were set upon by monsters of Nightkin and driven deep into the caves. Unfortunately, we were not able to protect the library as we were tasked, but we ended up in these tunnels that we could not escape until you found us. Erlod looks at Lark, and Lark nods and goes, well, that's quite the conundrum. I'm sorry to hear that. How are you going to get back? And the halfling and elf look at each other and shake their head, and they go, we don't have supplies. Erelod says, we were just on guard. It's part of what the Seekers do. And Lark nods and goes, I did not mark you as Seekers of the Light. And Erelod nods and goes, yes, indeed. We both are. But I don't know how we're going to get back without supplies and without torches. Neither, obviously. It's treacherous through the wilds, and I think it's a bad idea. Lark says, well, suppose I could escort you to the Gold Docks. I have a donkey. His name's Billy. And he's not much good for riding, but he can carry supplies that would get us there. I think the thing to do would be to head towards Southtown first, and then north along the road to Gold Docks. Erelod and Arena nod and go, if you are consenting to help us there, that would be of great import. We could really get back, otherwise we are at the mercy of, and he looks at Stonegaze, at the Deepfall Breach and the kindness of Stonegaze, of this wolfkin Stonegaze. I think Lark says, well, I just need to rest, so maybe we take what's the resting? I don't quite recall the recovery. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Adventures. Rest, recovery, healing and resting. Round rest, shift rest. Okay, shift rest lasts one full shift of time and can only take place in a safe location. Okay, so during the shift rest, you recover all your lost HP and weight. Okay, and heal all conditions. Okay. So a shift is quarter day in terms of a 24-hour cycle. So that would be 6 hours. So I think we take a shift rest here. There's no day or night, so I don't think it really matters. We take a shift rest and heal up to maximum. Oh, and I need to, let's see. Oh yeah, and all my things are fine. We don't have any injuries. Treasure hunter. Yeah. Okay. Dagger. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we have that. I got 3 days rations. Oh, well, I think we need to decrease this by 1, and we'll decrease this by 1. We spent a shift inside the 9 down in the deep full breach last time, and yeah. Okay. So I think Lark's mission now is to escort Arena and Aralad back to Gold Docks. So how does this work? Inspiration, yeah. Attack table, surviving solo play. This is all deep fall breach. So we're gonna mostly be using this, these tables here. The next day or after their shift rest, they all get up and stretch. Oh, I know what I'm gonna need. I probably need this, the attack matrix and these, because I assume that both their NPCs are just simple NPC template, really handy. These are their attributes and whatnot. So, okay, so I think Lark loads up Billy with like supplies, and then they head out. I did recover last time. I did recover a precious gold necklace, 2d6 gold pieces, and I think I'm gonna try to sell it in Southtown because I think I could get more money for it there. 2d6 gold pieces. I'm gonna say if we can make it to Southtown, maybe I could barter it up and try to get a little more. So let's go to. Here are the Southern Fismuck range. This is it. I'm going to say that the deep fall breach is somewhere in these mountains here. We have to come this way and across. I need to pause for a second. I have a notebook with some ideas in it. All right, I have my notebook. So traveling through, so the sort of the idea that I have for my world here is it's quite small, which I actually quite like because it means traveling is quite easy, or not easy mechanically, but easy as in like a lot can happen in a short amount of time. So I'm going to travel from here to here. It would take 1 shift basically. And I need to make, a roll to see if I get a random encounter within the Southern Fistmucks. Encounters in the Fistmucks are 2 and 6, so I roll a d6 and see if something shows up. No. So we start going from point A to point B through the southern Fissmucks. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. What types of things do we see? Let's go. Wilderness and place would be the obvious thing. So one done. 15. Small. 13. Cave. Okay, we see like a small cave, but nothing seems to be about. We also, since we spend a shift going from one place to another, we gotta decrease our oil from our lamp. There we go. All right, and we continue on. So now we pause. All right, so we head towards Southtown and the Spelfwood. This is the map for it. There's a lot going on here, but I think we would come in on the road here. There's a lot that goes on here. There's these huge, this huge arch that juts from the land that towers over these hills. There's these watchtowers that I think line this area, sort of keeping watch over this portal. I think as we Lark leads his pony and his companions onward along this road. There's like this electricity in the air that is just like on the makes the hairs on your arm stand up. Billy the donkey's like has its ears slicked back and is what's the word, a bit agitated. In this area, it is a 1 in 6 chance because of the watchtowers and the town, to face a random encounter. So let's take a roll. 3, nothing happens. We're able to make it to Southtown. Southtown is not the safest place. Let's see here. Okay. So I think there's social. Let's do social and change to see what do we find when we sort of walk into Southtown. So change social, change first and then social. 1, shift, and 13, history. Historic shift. Shift history. As Lark and his companions start through town, they can't help but notice that there is like a lot of people with sashes over their eyes. These people, like farmers and even like lumberjacks, they don't have any light. There's no flames. There's no way for them to see. It's like they are adept at moving through the darkness, and they cover their eyes. And let's roll to see how much Lark might know. This would be myth and legend, which is not his strong suit. Yeah, he fails. He's unsure of what this means. He's not a worldly person. He's quite young. So he finds this quite strange. I think as they come towards the town, divine. Ooh, yeah. Okay, let's roll divine talk. 3, eternal, 11. Question. All right. So the eternal question. And this shifting history creates this air of uncertainty. They come to the center of the town. The houses are built of like barricades and archers with bows and arrows. Most of them are they all have these masks over their eyes. The homes are made of wood. At the center of the town, there is a stage or a podium and lectern atop, and there is a woman there who with a crowd around her, and there is a fire nearby that people are throwing old pieces of paper into and scrolls. There's this woman, she has raven hair, cut short, but she has a sash over her eyes so she can't see, and she is railing. She says, all the marks written down are lies. What can be communicated through nothing more than symbols? What is lost in such blasphemy? Thinking back on the old times, they brought this upon us, this darkness, and gave us the demon fire. There's this cheer of frustration and pain from the group. Let's see how many people. There's only about 400 people population of this little town. So there's like 40 people gathered, and they are screaming. They're throwing pieces of scrolls into the fire. The woman says, I say fight fire with fire. They created this, the demon flame, and it consumes all. It consumes everything. And let their words and their scripture be burned with their own tools. I think Lark is like, what the fuck? I think both Arena and Erlod are both quite uncomfortable. They are looking around. The fire at the center of the town lights up the whole town and spreads. And the woman at the lectern says, keep your sashes tight, followers. The lidless eye forbids the demon flame to touch our irises. And Lark is looking around. Says, he's an idiot. Yeah, he's not very smart. He goes, and when all our histories have gone, and we are left with only darkness, what then? What happens to all of us when darkness has consumed everything and all the fires go out? And there is like he shouts this over the crowd, and he begins, like, all of the faces turn to him, even though most of them have these sashes over their eyes. And Erlod leans into Lark and he's like, I don't think that was the right thing to say. And Lark is like, oh. The woman on the podium says, Hark! Do I hear a visitor to our town? Come without sash to question our faith and our ways, like as not a man from Crowstar's tower. And all of the people laugh. And she says, can you not hear it in his voice, a man with sight, who thinks himself the wiser, who thinks himself the one far seen, yet he is blinded by the demon fire, the demon flame, and thinks this is wisdom? Lark pauses and says, I would not question your faith, but survival is what I seek. And though your faith seems strange to me, I do not doubt your resolve. I only question that perhaps history is worth remembering, lest we repeat it, or for the only reason that we may learn something and finally bring back the light that was once here before. And this woman's peal of laughter like flies around the town center. She screams. She says, you see what blasphemy this is, she says to her followers. A man here who uses the sight of the demon fire and then proclaims the before time. There was no before time. This is all that has ever been. Before time is nothing. Nothing but wishful thoughts and thinking. Nothing can come of such thoughts. Both Arena and Erlod are seekers of the light who believe very, very much in the before time of day and night and whatnot. But they're not going to probably volunteer that right this instant. The woman on the podium at the lectern says, fool as you may be, what is your name, and why have you come to Southtown? What business do you have here that you would come with such presumption? Lark says, we come with need. We were hoping to find shelter here and perhaps some supplies. If need be, we are only here until we can make our way to Gold Docks. but we shan't be here long. And this woman says, huh, you expect us to trade with heathens? Only heathens would think so. I would not allow any of our people to gain or aid ones like you. And Lark says, well, perhaps we could do a kindness to you in exchange for a kindness to us. You call us heathens, but surely we are on the same side against the Nightkin. And I'm going to roll persuasion with that, because I think that does sort of check a box there of this woman's issues. Success. This woman says, ha! You believe that we would have a need of your assistance? And there's a man shuffles up the steps to the stage, deftly with the sash over his eyes, and he whispers something into her ear, and she pauses, and she cocks her head, and she goes, though your assistance may be of use to us. Lark says, just tell us what you need, and we will see it done, if in return your kindness is granted, so that we may trade and resupply. And stay here. Stable our donkey and move on. This woman, she smirks, and we're going to roll a mission up here. Oh, I think it's down this direction. We're going to roll a mission. Let's see, where's the inspiration? Nope, this is an occasion. I went the wrong way. The inspiration tables. Okay, so 3d20. 1, 2, 3. All right. 2 craft, 6 damaged, 18 trap. Craft, damaged, trap. So basically I need to repair something. I need to repair a damaged trap. Okay. The woman says, there is a thing that you could do for us that would be of great help, and then you will be welcome here, at least for a night, before you head out. Otherwise, you are turned away. Lark says, indeed, let us know of this kindness we could grant you in return for your own. She says, there are craft damaged trap. What does that mean? Craft damaged trap. I think there's like a trap that was broken. That's maybe, what are they trying to trap? I guess that's the question. Oh, let's go look on the inhabitants table. Let's see. Where's the inhabitants? Here we go. Inhabitants, D20. What are they trying to trap, I guess, is the first question. 18. Cultists. Ooh! Yeah, That's cool. Okay. She says, there is... okay. What's broken, what's damaged, isn't the trap itself. Okay, this is how it works. There's another leader of the Lidless Eye faction that's in Southtown, and they are hiding in the Spilfwood, these woods around the town. They have been driven out, but they have been like attacking the town and trying to gain recruits. And they know they're not going to be able, the people in the town know that they won't be able to like lure this rebel faction out. And so they need to basically craft a trap. Lark needs to craft a trap to help them take care of this like rogue faction. So I like that. Okay, so this woman says, there are people hiding in the Spilfwood. We need you to take care of them. We need you to earn their trust and lead us to their lair so that we may resolve the conflict between our factions. And Lark says, a internal conflict within your order. Is that the issue? She says, yes. Yes, it is. They will not trust us if we go into the Spilfwood. They have been there for some time now, knowing its secrets and its ways and preparing for an infiltration. But you, as you are not one of us, perhaps can find a way to earn and search for where they are, and come back to us with the whereabouts, and lure them out with the promise of power. Lark says, and who might you be if we are asked who sent us? The woman nods and she says, my name is Moliva. You can use that name, but expect little warmth from those you seek. Let's see. So let's write down section 5. Quest. Make trap for Moliva's lidless eyes against rebel faction in the Spilfwood. Yeah. Leader. Oh, whoops. Leader of Spilfwood faction. Yelmar. Okay. I think Moliva, she says, we will keep your donkey, did you say its name? We will keep it safe while you lead our people. Oh, this is it. The person who went and whispered, she says, you will lead second in command. What's his name? Second in command. His name is Opala. Yeah, Opala. to Moliva. She says, you will lead Opala and our warriors into the Spillford. They know the whereabouts, or at least the general area of the separatists, and you will make contact while they pick off the rest. Lark nods and says, very, very well. I'm all right. He turns to Irina and Erlad, and he says, what do you reckon? Do you think we can do this? Do you think we can find these people? But then, what if they just rob us blind and take all of our stuff? And Irina says, one of us could stay here, and the others could go. Or one of us could go, and the others could stay here. Lark says, I think they need someone to make contact with. So if one of us goes with them, they won't hurt us. They won't hurt that person because they need them. If one person stays behind with Billy, they might take that as an invitation to pick off one person. So Irina and Arlette, why don't you two stay here, and I'll beat the point here. I'll do it. I know it's dangerous. Haha, my weakness, foolhardy. I always go first into danger. Doing it. I know it's dangerous, but I think that's the safest way to go about it. Erlad and Irina look at him, but not look at him like worried, but nod. Oh, okay. If you think that's best. And Lark says, yeah, I do. All right. He turns towards Moliva on the podium and says, all right, I will go. Opala and the others who wish to follow and lead the way at the same time, that's fine. Let's do this. Lark will grab his knives. And his armor, put his helmet on, and says, okay, let's head out. Let's get this over with. He holds up his lantern, and they head into the spilt wood. Alright, so now, let's see, how many, let's have waypoints, and each waypoint will mean a new random encounter chance. Random encounters in the Spillfoot are 2 and 6. Okay. Okay, so how many waypoints do we need before we get to this place? I think it was 2d4 is what I rolled. Yeah, so 5 waypoints. Okay. Waypoint 1. Wilderness Yeah, okay. Replace. No. So I'm going to roll 2d10, and we're going to see which tables I roll on. Oh, whoops, excuse me. Yeah, 2d10. Yeah, that's right. So 1 and 9. Okay. So, whoops. I'm going to go talk and change. Talk, change. I don't know if this is going to work. We might end up not using this situation. Yeah, I think maybe the thing to do is just to use these rules. So let's do that. All right, roll d20 on the area table below. So what do we run into first? Yawning chasm. So we're gonna interpret this in like a woodsy feeling rather than like a dark, dank dungeon. So, but I would say it is dark, and perhaps it is a dank place. It's wet. The Spilfwood is a mossy forest with evergreens that's pretty thick with underbrush and ferns. So we have a yawning chasm, and they head into this place and or into the forest and come to like a great like steep like plunge down into like a huge valley. Roll d4, then roll okay, so then we roll a d4. 1, okay, and re-roll it. 3, oddity, okay. So we need 1 oddity here about this cavern, or this yawning chasm. Arcane symbols. Yawning chasm, arcane symbols. As directed location, roll d20 on 1 or more tables for contents, environment, oddity, danger. These tables may lead more questions. Use other tables to help find the answers or just decide what is most interesting. So these arcane symbols. In this arcane symbols and yawning chasm, I need to think. Alright, I'm going to roll sorcery and divine to try to figure out what's going on with this like big plunging chasm that we can't really get, or yawning chasm that we can't get across, and the arcane symbols there. So let's see here. Sorcery, divine. So 20. Evil. Ooh, this is good. And 8. Spirit. Great. So there's an evil spirit here. I think we push through some of these ferns and we come to this great cavern, or yawning chasm. Opala says, yes, it's not. He says, this is a tricky situation. We have not really found a way across here as of late. We're going to need the bestiary. There we go. Let's see what we need. I don't even know if there are. Oh, there are ghosts. Perfect. All right. Movement, armor. Ghosts are immaterial beings and immune to all damage except magic and fire. A defeated ghost is only banished for the one shift which it returns. After which it returns. The only way to banish the ghost permanently is to cast Purge or solve whatever problem keeps it bound to the world of the living. Persuadable. Unlike other monsters, ghosts can usually be, albeit with a bane on the roll. Oh, great. So these arcane symbols are floating in front of Lark and Opala, and let's see, he had how many people? He brought 2d6 people, brought 10 others with him. Oof, that's a lot. All right, and they're all sort of waiting, and Opala says, I can deal with this. We have dealt with this before. Spirit, show yourself in your true form. And the arcane symbols like sort of coalesce into a humanoid shape, albeit a ghost. And the ghost says, "You may not pass." Okay, Gandalf. Lark says, we must pass. You may not. Protected is the spellwood against intruders. No, Paula says, what of the intruders that hide within your wood then, spirit? The spirit doesn't seem to answer. It says, you cannot pass. I am the protector of this land. Let's see if I can succeed a myth and legend roll. I think I might know how to deal with this situation. I did, yes. All right, and I get to mark that. I think Lark says, Spirit, I've heard that perhaps you're here because you need something. You need something done. The spirit hesitates and doesn't answer. Just tell us what you need, and we will help you do it. Let's see. Weaken, cursed, weapon. Okay. The ghost says, I was once a warrior, once a great fighter, once a hero of this land. Now I am trapped here. Trapped. And it looks down into the chasm. Oh man. And Lark goes, jeez. I suppose I need to go down there. There's something down there that is keeping this thing here. Not quite sure how this is going to work, but we've got to try. I just realized I get a benefit from the dragon I rolled when I was Myth Legend. So a 2, the action is performed faster than usual. That doesn't really make sense, but perhaps this is how it works. The spirit or the ghost looks down into the chasm, and Lark says, "Oh, I'm gonna have to go down there. Spirit, my name is Lark, and is there something down there? Something you need me to see? Something that could change this situation?" The spirit looks back up. "How do I get down?" Lark says. The spirit... Spirit turns into these arcane symbols again. Swirls around and begins to fit into these like symbols begin to fit into this chasm wall like sort of like platforms, or stairs. It makes more sense to be stairs leading down. The Opala, the lidless eye zealot, he goes, "We have always battled this creature whenever we want to cross the chasm, which has not been often, and it's one of the reasons why the separatists have been so successful in staying hidden. But if this spirit was finally gone, then perhaps this would be beneficial to us." Lark says, "You all stay here. I'll be back in a second. Just get ready to cross if something changes." And Lark begins to descend. Oh, we've got the yawning chasm and arcane symbols. Ghost that needs to be put to rest. The stairs, like as Lark goes, the symbols continue to like fly out and then like lead him down so that he can continue downward. And all the way at the bottom, he comes to this, he's holding his lamp aloft, and he comes to this just stone, rocky bottom. There's hardly any life here, or plants or anything. It's mostly rock. He looks from side to side. "Spirit, I don't see what you want me to see," says Lark. And the spirit coalesces its wispy form in front of him. It says, "It was here. It's always been here." So I need to spot hidden, I think, to find this thing, which I do. All right. Lark displays his lantern around here and there, and at first it looks like there's nothing to be found, but then in the side of the chasm wall, there is like it's dirt and rock, and he sees a glint of something. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6, So what type of thing is it? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, cool. He sees the glint, or actually there's something sticking out of the chasm. And he goes, what? And it's not a root, it's not a branch like that's been stuck here, it's not a stone. It glints, and it's like golden, tarnished gold. And the firelight from his lantern glints off this, and he goes up to it. The spirit goes and just right into this thing that sticks out of the ground or the wall. Lark puts down his thing and his lantern and starts to like dig through out, and essentially he's like and pulls out a metal shafted spear. And as he holds it, he feels something in his hands, like a warmth, and he hears in his voice, "Yes, yes, this was mine. It was always mine. But I am so tired. I fought, and I fought, and the darkness would not abate. And when I was the last, I died, but I stayed behind at the same time. I could not join the others. My weapons had taken so many of the nightkin. It was all I knew. It was all that defined me. And because of that, I could not leave. I could not change." Lark will say, "Well, if I destroy this, then perhaps you'd finally be free. Maybe say, if it was finally repurposed. This is a good spear. I can understand why you did so well with it, but perhaps it would be better as a pair of knives or some such. If I changed it, would that set you free?" The spirit says, "I am dead, but I do not know what governs the living and the gateway between them and the afterlife." Lark nods and says, "Okay, well, I can help you, but not right now. I'll have to take this with me, and perhaps you could help us cross real quick. And when I get back to town, I'll look to putting you to rest." So it's an exchange. Bartering for sure. Come on. Ooh. Yikes. That's not good. So, an important item. If lost or broken, you suffer a dangerous delay, you draw unwanted attention, you stumble into a new danger. Oh, you trigger an unexpected reaction or trap, you cause collateral damage or injury to yourself. I already know exactly what happens. The ghost's voice says, "Yes, yes, that is of great need." And as he says this, and body just, there's a scream from high up above. falls, and Opala, the leader of the Lidless Eye guards, just slams into the ground. He's got an arrow, or no, and just Lark jumps back, grabs his lantern off the ground, holding the spear, and looks at the body. The body is mangled and twisted. He's completely broken, and there is an arrow that has shattered out from his chest. It looks as though he hears the screams coming from above. Opala has been killed. Let's as Lark is in the yawning chasm, helping the ghost and finding the ancient spear, Opala falls into the chasm, having been attacked and shot with an arrow. The other Lidless Eye folk are engaged with the separatists. So basically, this was a bad idea. We're gonna have to run for it, and that's where we're gonna end our session. So that's gnarly. We're not gonna level up in any way, shape, or form here. We're just going to say this is the end of the session, or the partial session. This will be session 5, part 1. So engage with the separatists. We'll pick back up in the moments following Opala's fall. All right. Yeah, sick. Good. That's where we're going to end it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, maybe in a couple days, I'll post part 2, and maybe I'll be session 5, part 2, the end of session 5. We'll see. I'm trying to do shorter sessions just because long sessions are, well, they're long. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, my Ko-fi page link is down below. What else? The game link for the VTT, Roll VTT, as well as Dragonbane PDF from DriveThru, as well as the solo rule set. What else needs to be there? And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the session. It was a little funky. I get stuck. I'm finding myself getting stuck here and there, which feels weird, but overall, I think I need to have worse things happen more often, because that drives action and that's more fun for everyone, me included. So I love the fact that Opala gets shot and that the separatists have figured out what they're doing, and it just creates more intrigue. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and adventure on.